Hi mathematicians. Today we are going to read and interpret charts in order to solve word problems. First, I want you to stop and think about how is unpacking your backpack similar to unpacking a math problem. Let's see if you came up with some of the same ideas that I did. When you unpack a math problem, it's the same as unpacking your book bag for the day because it helps you to be prepared to solve a problem or be prepared to start your day. It also helps you to be organized for your day or organized so you know exactly what information from the problem you need in order to solve it. Another idea is to have your tools ready. By unpacking your backpack, you have your tools ready to start your day. Just like unpacking a math problem, you have your tools ready to solve the problem. And finally, unpacking your backpack for the day sets you up for success. Just like unpacking your math problem helps you to successfully solve the problem correctly. All right, let's look at this problem together. Mrs. J needs to buy 5 notebooks. She needs the notebooks to be blue. Each notebook costs $3. How much money will it cost for all the notebooks? Well, the first thing we need to do is figure out what information from the problem we know. We know that Miss J needs to buy 5 notebooks. We also know that each notebook costs $3. We also know that I need blue notebooks, but that information is not important. And so we can go ahead and cross it out because we do not need to know that information in order to solve this problem. So next, we need to ask ourselves, what do we need to find out? I like to underline or circle or squiggly mark the question so we know exactly what we have to find out. How much money will it cost for all of the notebooks? So if we organize our thinking into a KFC chart, we know that I need to buy 5 notebooks. We know that each notebook costs $3. What do we need to find out? The question says, how much more money will it cost for all the notebooks? Notice that I put all in capital letters because we want to know the amount of money for all the notebooks. And finally, we need to consider our plan. How much money is something going to be for all of something means that I need to find a total. And I know that when I'm finding a total, I'm going to need to either use repeated addition or I could use multiplication. Since I'm a mathematician that's trying to work on being fast and efficient, I know that using multiplication is going to be quicker than using repeated addition. I could do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, or I could simply do 3 times 5 or 5 times 5, and that equals 15. So I know that the answer is $15. It's really important when you're answering word problems to be precise, and so you want to put the correct solution, which is 15, but you also don't want to forget your label of dollars so that the correct answer is accurate and precise with $15. So it's going to cost Ms. J $15 to buy all 5 notebooks. All right, friends, it's also important that we take some time when we have to solve a problem that might have a chart or a table like you see on the right-hand side. So first I want to look at the title of my chart, Cafeteria Food Nutrition. Now I want to look at the columns. So in the left-hand column, or the first column, I see that all of the types of foods are listed. In the middle column, I see the serving size. So I know if we're talking about one of something, a cup of something, a stalk of something. And finally, in the third column, I see the amount of calories that's in each item. Now that I've read and interpreted and understand the chart, now I'm ready to read the question. Mrs. J eats 2 slices of pizza. Miss Cox eats a cheeseburger. How many more calories was Miss J's meal than Miss Cox's meal? Well, just like we did in our first example, we need to figure out what do we know. From this problem, we know that Miss J eats 2 slices of pizza. We also know that Miss Cox eats a cheeseburger. I know from looking at the chart and reading the table that 1 slice of pizza is 292 calories, and a cheeseburger has 295 calories. I know all of that information from either reading the problem or reading the table or chart. Next, I need to ask myself, what do I need to find out in order to solve this problem? I'm going to go directly up to the problem, and I'm going to think, how many more calories was Miss J's meal than Miss Cox's meal? So I'm going to copy that question down. That's important. And I know whenever we're knowing that something's asking how much more, that I'm probably going to have to use some subtraction. All right, now let me consider my steps. Because Miss J eats 2 slices of pizza, but on our chart it only tells us how many calories are in 1, that tells me that I'm going to have to do 2 steps to solve this problem, just like you were climbing stairs. 2 steps, first step and the second step. I'm first going to have to figure out how many total calories was in Miss J's meal. So I'm going to have to add in order to figure that out. I could also multiply if I knew how to multiply 292 times 2. Second, after I figure out how many calories are in Mrs. J's meal, then I'm going to need to subtract to figure out how many more calories Miss J's meal was than Miss Cox's meal. All right, let's solve this problem now that we know exactly how to tackle it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my steps. I know it's going to be a 2-step problem. I'm going to have to do step 1, step 2, and then finally when I get to the top, I'm going to have my answer. So step 1, I said that I needed to figure out how many total calories were in the pizza meal. So I'm going to need to add 292 plus 292, and I'm going to get 584. So that means there's 584 calories in 2 slices of pizza. That 584 is going to be really important because I'm going to need it for my next step. In my next step, I'm going to have to ask myself, how many more calories did Miss J eat than Miss Cox? Well, Miss J ate 584 calories. And Miss Cox, we know that a cheeseburger has 295 calories. I'm going to need to subtract them in order to get our answer. When I subtract 295 from 584, I get 289. So now I need to take that answer that's highlighted in green, and I need to make it more precise by adding a label. So my final answer is Miss J ate 289 more calories than Miss Cox. All right, friend, today you are going to be unpacking problems. I want you to stop and figure out, what do you know? You can underline, highlight, or circle the important information. Cross off the information that you know you don't need. Pay really close attention to what you need to find out by reading or circling that question very carefully. And then finally, consider how many steps are you going to have to do to solve this problem, and what operations might you need to use.